Hello once again and welcome to this special episode of Lisburn Distillery TV at 100, our 100th episode of the show.
Here's what's coming up on today's show.
We kick off with a review of the journey for Lisburn Distillery TV as it reaches the landmark 100th episodes.
We'll then look back at the Whites' last match, which saw them take on Portstewart here at New Grosvenor last Saturday.
And finally we will look ahead to our next game this Saturday. So to kick off today's show, we're going to do things that little bit differently from normal if we look back over the last 100 episodes of Ldtv. Colin, you must be proud to have reached this milestone.
Yeah, I don't know if proud is necessarily the word, but absolutely delighted we've got here. Obviously it's over 2 years I've been going now, and I'm just really delighted we've actually got here. And to be honest, the response has been absolutely phenomenal. We're still going strong after 2 years. I just really want to say on record that just a massive thank you to everybody who's helped out in the show. That just hasn't been my efforts, it's been efforts of an entire team. So thanks to everybody who's helped out. But yeah, it's been good. So
I understand we're going to see a review now of the episodes.
Yep, that's the game plan. So here we go, folks. It's a quick review of Lisburn Distillery TV, the last 100 episodes. Hope you enjoy it. So, it's 100 episodes of Ldtv. More than anybody, I probably am in total disbelief we've got this far. When it first started back in December 2016, I suspected it would run for a few weeks and probably fizzle out. But here we are 2 years later. Over 500,000 minutes have been watched of the channel so far, which is totally phenomenal. So thank you so much for your support over the last couple of years. So here's a brief review of what we've done over the last 100 episodes. The first show of Ldtv was transmitted on the 3rd of December 2016, when yours truly interviewed player Darren Doherty in what were very sparse surroundings. A week later the second show was transmitted, and this saw the introduction of Lydia Campbell as a co-host. And I think it only right at this time to thank Lydia for all her hard work and effort in getting the show established in those early days. Lydia remained as co-host on a regular basis until the end of that season, after which a change in job circumstances saw her easing off on her involvement, with Maeve Brennan becoming the new co-host for our first full season of coverage. Other hosts along the way have included Michael MacDonald, Johnny Miller, Joyce Bunting, and now our most recent co-host, Rosie McKee, who's only joined up with the team in the last few weeks. Location-wise, it would be fair to say we have used a number of venues over the 100 episodes, mostly from the studio, which started off very basic before moving to the club boardroom and then back to a refurbished, customised studio. As well as this, we've done quite a bit of filming off-site, including places as diverse as the club's training ground, the club golf day, at the ice baths, the end of season awards, the National Stadium, and even journeys abroad to Denmark and Sweden, amongst other venues. Time of the year hasn't really mattered. Bring on the sunshine, bring on the snow, or even bring on the storms. Ldtv has battled through all of the elements as we have strived to keep everyone up to date with all things Lisburn Distillery. Of course, there's been quite a bit of commitment involved in making the show, but that said, it's also been great fun along the way. Whether it's waiting on the dogs to spin past as you're recording an interview, taking a penalty kick, trying to make a hole-in-one, or even a Christmas pie face challenge, it's all been great fun. Of course, without doubt, the main attraction of the shows has been the interviews and the highlights. But the highlights not only bring some amazing goals to our screens, but also providing a comprehensive diary for years to come of the highs and lows of life at Lisburn Distillery. Who could forget the fight against relegation in our debut season on Ldtv? I also need to go on record at this time to thank Cameron Moore and Michael MacDonald for their video work in covering the games over the 100 episodes so far. The interviews have provided us all with opportunities to hear from current players, former players, and I know for me personally, being able to catch up with some of my all-time distillery heroes from days gone by has been a truly wonderful experience. So, thanks for watching the review. Once again, thanks for your support for Ldtv. Without your support, we simply wouldn't have got here. Thanks so much.
Next up on today's show, it's time for exclusive highlights, which this week features the Whites' latest game here at New Grosvenor.
Portstewart were the visitors here last Saturday. The competition was the Premier Intermediate League, so let's not waste any further time but head straight over to the highlights. The Whites went into this home game against Portstewart determined to bounce back after a heavy defeat against Tobermoor the previous week. However, on the day it wasn't to be, as another below par performance resulted in a further heavy defeat for Lisburn Distillery. With the Whites struggling to create any clear-cut openings, it was no surprise when Portstewart took the lead in 22 minutes when, following a nice flick on from Colin Gillen, Thomas Elder was well placed and fired a shot into the top corner of the net. 1-0 to Portstewart. Things went from bad to worse for Distillery when in 47 minutes Gillen was able to outpace the Distillery defence before drilling the ball into the bottom corner of the net to make it 2-0 to the visitors. Distillery's first ever of note came on 65 minutes when this effort from Johnny McCaw was well saved by Andrew Findlay in the Portstewart goal. Distillery's afternoon of misery was complete on 80 minutes when the Whites' defence was unable to clear the ball and eventually fell to Thomas Elder, who made no mistake to score his second and Portstewart's third of the day. Full-time score for New Grosvenor, Lisburn Distillery 0, Portstewart 3.
So Colin, disappointed again?
Yeah, very frustrating yet again after such a good performance a few weeks ago. 2 performances back to back, which to be honest have been well below par. Very disappointing, but I think the inconsistency is really killing us at the moment. I mean, the players no doubt have the ability, to turn it on, but just this last few weeks, for whatever reason, we just haven't done so, and that's ultimately sort of having a big impact on our hopes for the league this season.
I suppose you'd hoped for a great game for your 100th episode.
It would have been nice to come and celebrate the Whites win 5-0 and we all said happy days and things like that, but football, unfortunately, as we all know, is like you can't guarantee anything like that there. If you could, you'd be laughing, to be honest, but that's the way it goes, that's one of those things. Next up for the Whites, it's another home game this Saturday, with our opponents this time being Banbridge Town, who, like ourselves, have found the season somewhat inconsistent. Games between the two sides, however, are usually entertaining affairs, so hopefully this won't be no different when we entertain Stuart King and his players here on Saturday.
That match between the Whites and Banbridge Town takes place this Saturday, March the 2nd, with kick-off at 3 p.m, and as usual we'd really appreciate your support for the Whites on the day.
So that concludes this week's episode of
Hold on! Can't have birthday episode without cake.
Birthday episode without cake?
Happy 100th, Colin.
No, that's not mine, thank goodness, but happy 100 Ldtv. And thanks once again to everybody for watching the show. Until the next time, we're going to enjoy some cake.
Come on, the Whites.
Bye for now.